It's the story of three women negotiating grief and kind of wrestling with it and moving through it. And those three women are two sisters, Kali and Simone, one of whom is a musician, one of whom is a visual artist. And the third woman is Joe, who is a war correspondent who is coming back from a kind of traumatic assignment abroad. And all three of these women are grieving sort of parental figures.
This is a show about love and loss and processing grief, and how art and sort of finding your voice can be a means to process grief and to heal with other people, and especially sort of found family and what family means, and how we can sort of grow into ourselves by finding the people that we love.
I think that that stories about healing are sort of evergreen, and I think I personally am sort of always seeking them out in what I consume, and I think that particularly now we are, as a culture, I think, having to like really reckon with grief and with loss and with sort of what happens when like all the rugs are pulled out from under your life. And that means different things to different people. But I think our story sort of focuses really specifically on this this sort of complicated notion of family and what it means to like survive the seemingly unsurvivable.
I think that this show is related to Shiva for me. And like that idea that grieving rituals are actually joyful and about, like celebration and coming together and healing. And I think it's like, of all the things that I connect to in Judaism, Shiva might be the most powerful thing for me. So I think like in some way we watch the sitting of Shiva and the beauty that is, instead of it being, as Emily said, it's not necessarily like muting or heaviness. It's actually, there's a reason that we have rituals like that. And the why now of that, has even changed in the past year for obvious reasons. And we never would have been able to predict that. But that the period in my life where I started writing this score was inside of several Shivas, actually, in my life. So I think I now see that with some clarity and distance, and hopefully we can provide a space, because it's loss and what we do after loss is one of the most universal experiences, It's weird because I think it's interesting. It's a piece that's grown with me, and so its musical style has evolved with me. It just in terms of like a piece that lives with you over the years, different influences seep in as you go. And I will say, whatever you label it, it's one of the most personal scores I've ever written in terms of musical styles. They're musical styles that are absolutely in my body and heart, and much less about like, let me try to emulate this form or that form, and much more about just what sings to me.
I feel like also the score is just this like contemporary pop rock that is so soulful and so personal because of Zoe's journey with the piece. And every time musicians and singers gather as we are learning music, it is the most joyful and kind of buoyant space, because everyone who's involved is just like so happy to be playing and making this music together. And the choral sections and the harmonies are unreal.